our own ecosystem by collecting samples with these glass jars. First, we're gonna get 1 jar of sediment. I think this is a good amount. This jar is mostly filled up with some rock, sediment, and silt. Let's make it airtight. Now let's find some more things to collect for our ecosystem. While we're collecting samples, look at all these turtles at this park. Oh, there goes 1. There goes 2. We have 4 on shore. 3, 2. They seem pretty comfortable sunbathing. We should leave them alone though and keep collecting samples. Now we're gonna try and get some soil/sediment from the pond, but we're gonna try to just get some soil. Oh my gosh. Oh, looks like that was just water. Can't really tell, but I think we need some more. Trust me, there's some sediment in there. It's just kind of hard to see. Once the water settles, we'll be able to get a better look at it. Now we're gonna get some water from the shallow end of the pond. Got it. Looks like there's already some growth in there. Algae maybe, or moss. Now we're gonna try and get some water from the deeper part of the pond. Let me get a good grip on this. Okay. Turtle. Look, it came out right when I... It tried to get the jar. Alright, let's get our lid, and we have all the samples we need. Hey, I noticed there's less algae in this part of the water. Okay. Let's put it all together now to make our ecosystem. Okay, we're back, and now we have to add everything into our tank. That way we can make our ecosystem. First, we're gonna start off with the more sediment part, the thing we collected first. This more has like rocks in it. Unsealing it. Okay, let's pour it in. Can definitely smell it. Next is more of our soil. This is like the rocket fuel. So basically everything from this that'll grow from it comes from here. Or mainly everything. It's the fuel. Okay. Here's our shallow water. We can tell because there's some algae in there. Hopefully our algae doesn't take up the entire tank. Okay, now we're gonna put it in here to get the rest of this out. And finally, time for some deeper water. You can tell because this we got it from the middle of the pond, so there wasn't as much gunk around it. That's why it's cleaner, looks cleaner at least. Now we're going to use the rest of this water to clean out this jar. This was the jar that had the rocks. We put a piece of plastic on the top, and now we're sealing it with tape. We put 2 pieces of plastic up top to make sure it's airtight, and now I'm adding the final piece of tape. A couple observations before we leave this alone for a few weeks and watch what happens. First, I noticed the sediment over here, and then my attention goes to, bam, the fog in there, which is actually water vapor, which shows that the water cycle is already working, and the stuff inside here is producing humidity and heat, which is the perfect breeding ground for growing an ecosystem. It's been 18 days, and here is our tank. One would think that after 18 days there would be lots of green algae in here, but since this tank had limited access to any sort of light for the past 2.5 weeks, none has grown and has left us with this seemingly clear water. But it also looks like nothing's living in here, but when you take a closer look, there's definitely some little critters in here. Here's an overview of everything we did to create this biome right here. First, we went to our local pond and we got 4 different samples of water or sediment of some kind from 4 different areas. And we put them all in this tank. We combined all the samples. And at first, the water was really murky and not clear at all. So once we combined everything, we made sure to seal it up. And then we waited 2.5 weeks or 18 days, and we came back with some nice clear water, and we noticed that we basically have our own version of the water cycle. So it evaporates, then we have all this condensation up here, and it's probably really humid in there, honestly. The first thing to note here is when looking, you see this kind of brown film on the inside of the glass, kind of coating it. And this is brown algae known as diatom. And this actually provides a food source for everything living in our tank. Right here on the substrate, you can see a booming population of ostracods, commonly known as seed shrimp. Because we kept the jar dark, some of the plant matter decomposed, creating a massive feast of biofilm for these little guys to thrive on. We even have a freshwater pulmonate snail. Unlike some aquatic species, these snails actually have a modified lung cavity, allowing them to carry an air bubble under their shell so they can spend hours scavenging the dark bottom. If you look closely at the sediment, you'll also spot a bloodworm, which is actually the aquatic larva of a non-biting midgefly. They are excellent burrowers and incredibly resilient to lower oxygen levels. Now, when most people think of bloodworms, they picture a bright, vibrant red creature. So why do the ones in our tank look translucent or brownish? Because they live in a shallow shoreline sediment we collected. They've adapted a perfect tan and brown camouflage to hide from predators like fish and birds. Now, because these organisms are so small and blend right into the sand, counting them with our normal eyesight can be a huge challenge. That's why we brought out the black light. A lot of people think these tiny glowing specks are just more ostracods, but if you look closely at how they move, you'll actually see that they're copepods. Using the UV light is an awesome scientific shortcut. Now here's one of the coolest parts of our blacklight experiment. Look at how our tiny green sprout turns a vibrant red under the UV light. This isn't a trick of the lens, it's a biological phenomenon known as chlorophyll fluorescence. Scientists actually use this exact method in the field to monitor plant health, track stress levels, and see how actively a plant is processing light. So this whole ecosystem has its own life cycle. And we have the plants, we have the food, which is the diatom, and then we have the ostracods and the nematodes. But I'm pretty sure there's a ton more organisms in here that we just haven't seen yet or discovered. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a snail in here, but it's pretty hard to tell because everything in here is just so tiny, which is why we have our microscope. So everyone, this is a fun kind of science experiment you can do yourself this summer. All you have to do is have a fish tank, collect some water and sediment samples, seal it up, and just wait and observe to see what happens. But make sure not to put it in direct sunlight because then just a bunch of green algae would grow, and that wouldn't be too cool. I hope you enjoyed this science experiment. What should we do next? Make sure to like and subscribe.